Hi Virgo, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your love reading for mid-October to mid-November. It's kind of a really critical period right now. As I said before in the monthlies, like we are like really in these transits now. This is when things start to really pick up the pace. And I know it feels kind of like weird with time because although it feels like things aren't moving, this Mars retrograde, like we can't really force things to happen right now. Making squares to Saturn, right now we've got Mars making a square to Pluto, which could really make this way more intense, way more emotional period of time for the next few weeks. We have a new moon in Libra, which doesn't necessarily have the best aspects with it, so it's not necessarily a pleasant time. It's not going to be an easy time for anyone. And I remember back when I was doing the September and the October readings, almost every sign was getting the Justice card or the Judgment card. And I was starting to get the idea that this is sort of a time of judgment for us. This is, where the universe tests you a little and wants to know, what did 2020 teach you? What have you learned up to this point? Now we've been doing all this emotional clearing. We've been learning some really hard lessons. We've been probably a little more connected to spirit than ever because Neptune has been so rich within all of this. And it just feels like this is the ultimate culmination of where do you want your life to go from here? Now, this is indicative of all of the signs of everyone right now. You see people going through massive career changes, divorces, breakups. You'll actually see people breaking up and getting together with other people really quickly. That's how fast these shifts are going to go. Now, in your cards for this time, I have to say, now I remember in the October monthly, Virgo's reading was amazing. Like you had so much going on. There was so much potential. Out of all of the signs, Virgo was really getting the gifts. Now, it is true that Venus is in your sign. She's not exactly, she's struggling now. She's struggling with where she is in these planets, but she is getting enormous strength. She's receiving a trine energy, which is like really all about lucky breaks. It's all about not really having to do the work anymore. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards. I see that Virgo has done the work. And while the rest of us might be hanging out, kind of still learning these last lessons, if you're somebody that's really been resisting this change all through 2020, wanting to keep things the same, to get back on schedule, then this might be a little bit of a harder time. It might be harder energy to go through. But I think what I find most fascinating is with the Virgo energy, you would think that you would see people being a little bit more tied to the schedule, like wanting to get back to normal, wanting to get back to that normal routine, which we're all struggling with in some way or another in our lives. Maybe you're used to a little more cushion in the bank at this point, and maybe there's freedom in all of this for Virgo. Maybe it was a real opportunity for Virgo, with all of this happening in your 5th house, to kind of let go of all of those responsibilities. And I feel like Virgo got a taste of what it would be like if they could tap in a little bit more to that creative energy and a little bit less into the needing to get all the things done before you do the creative things, right? Now, I'm a Virgo, so I understand the importance. Like, You know, there's a need because you control everything, because you manage your time well, which most of you do. But Virgos are also fantastic and amazing procrastinators. But for most parts of their life, we like to keep things going. We like to keep things moving in a certain direction, knowing that everything, you know, the wheels are always greased, you know. And maybe 2020 and this lockdown and whatever other changes you've gone through has allowed you to devote a little bit more time to that creative Virgo energy, that earthiness. And now that you have Venus in your sign making a trine, I see you, you know, some signs are really in a place of like a crossroads. And I don't think Virgo's at a crossroads. I think Virgo is sort of following their intuition, following their guides, following their higher being. I think they're speaking a whole different language, and I pick up a lot of Pisces vibration from these cards. Now, off the bat, you can tell ooh, this is highly channeled reading. Okay, so the first card out is a High Priestess. And with this, I feel like there's something within Virgo. Now, I know this is a love reading, and I know that most of you are here about love. However, these energies can be applied to really whatever part of your life you want. If you are starting a new business, if you are making a new career move, if you're meeting new friends, starting a new hobby, whatever it is, this can certainly be applied to those situations as well. The High Priestess tells me that there's something deep inside Virgo that's getting exposed right now. There's a discovery with a High Priestess. It's kind of like being clued in to the secrets of the universe, understanding and grasping the way things work. And it tells me that Virgo is starting to understand that now isn't a time to really use much force. There's really no effort right now from Virgo. They're just kind of sitting back, visualizing, attaching themselves to the emotions, you know, like the real way to manifest, which is to just simply feel like it's already happened, it's already yours. Resonate with that vibrational frequency. It doesn't matter what the details are, it doesn't matter how or when, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense at all. Because it's really not about the who, when, where, how, why. It's just not that energy right now. Now, I feel like it takes a certain level of experience to get to the High Priestess. This isn't just a quick 1, 2, 3 journey. And next to the High Priestess is the Empress. And this right here is maybe some of the most powerful feminine energy that you can ask for, Virgo. Now, the Empress, furthering that feeling of getting into your creative side. Now, creative doesn't have to be like you're painting murals or doing pottery, you know, like creativity. There's creativity in everything. Creativity in intuition. It's just allowing the universe to kind of whisper in your ear, like, what am I going to do today? And just kind of waiting for the prompts and going with the flow and not resisting and fighting everything. Now, the Empress is never in a place where she has to ask. She doesn't ask for anything. In fact, the Empress doesn't really have to do a whole lot of talking at all. This is a feeling. This is an attitude. This is a presence. And the Empress has been through all four of the queen statuses, right? She's learned the really hard emotional lessons. She's learned the financial lessons. She's learned the lessons that, happen when you kind of go a little bit with the ego, or, sexual pleasures and that kind of thing. She's mastered all of these lessons in her life, and she's found the perfect balance. And it's no surprise that we are in Libra season, opposing this Mars retrograde, making a square to that 5th house. And it kind of says to you, what's it going to be? How many years are you going to spend living this old way? Because now is the time to make the change. Now is the time for you to believe in your dreams and to start laying the groundwork. But the key is to believe in the dream. And in order to believe in the dream, you have to believe in yourself. And I really feel like that's what Virgo stopped doing. She stopped the negative thoughts. He stopped the narrative in the mind that says, no, I have to do this. No, I have to be here for them. I can't make these changes because so many other people are depending on me. Or what if I'm not good enough? What if other people are way more qualified than me? All those things in your head that were taking up so much space on a daily basis. So much space that could have been used for things of real value. Now I say that because your overall energy is a world card, which means something is coming to an end. So something new can come in. The world card means that we're starting a brand new cycle, and astrologically, these aren't small cycles. It's not just a Venus cycle. It's not just, these are big cycles, things that humankind has not lived through in thousands of years. And so if you think this isn't unique enough energy for some real progress in your life, you don't want to miss that opportunity. You don't want to hold on to the old things. You don't want to hold on to the old ways. If you've been through a series of bad relationships, bad decisions, that ends now. It's just over. You're not that person anymore. Beneath that is the Explorer of Pentacles. My rhinoceros. This is a pentacle energy. This is a foundation. This is something that's going to benefit you for a really long time. And the Explorer of Pentacles tells me that you're starting to look at things differently. I think there's so much discernment coming from Virgo now. Like, does this or doesn't this make me happy? I think Virgo knows all of a sudden that it really is that simple. Virgo realizes that you don't have to struggle, you don't have to sacrifice, you don't have to do all the things and then fester in resentment because you had to do all the things so you didn't get to the things that you loved. And the Explorer of Pentacles doesn't just make time for the things he loves, he makes the things he loves number one. And that's always the path to the greatest breakthroughs, right? That's always where real quality and real life-changing events occur. Now, the Explorer of Pentacles also tells me that this is somewhat new. It's not quite solid. Maybe you have your eye on somebody, or maybe you've just raised your standards to a certain level. But yet it feels good because it's not denying yourself either. If you've been through shitty relationships and you turn around and you say, oh my God, that's it. I'm done with love. I'm done with relationships. It's just not for me. But why? Why is it easier to deny yourself of the thing you truly want instead of just opening your eyes and doing it a different way? Underneath the High Priestess and the Empress cards, 2 of these cards came out for you. The first one is love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Underneath the High Priestess, this tells me that you've been doing the shadow work, right, Virgo? 8th house transits, doing the shadow work. And by shadow work, I mean the forgiveness stuff. Forgiving the people in the past that didn't treat you the way that you deserve, people that took advantage of you. Because in order for you to get to a place of love, you know you can't have that in you. That stuff is poison. The resentments, the anger that pumps through your body, creating that cortisol reaction, that stress that actually physically takes a toll on your body. And so if you have all of that pent up inside of you, how could you possibly expect to find a loving situation? And I think Virgo's been led by some pretty powerful things, people, guides, spirits, whatever it is, whatever you speak to, whatever speaks to you. I think it's been leading you to this place and saying, Virgo, let that go. Just send them love. And all of a sudden things feel lighter. Success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. So staying in a place of anger, refusing to move on, it's not what it's about. Success card to me also says you've done the work. You've done it, Virgo. There's no having to go out and slay the dragons this month. You know, you don't really have to push yourself and not sleep to try to make everybody happy because you've already had that level of success, which means you've drawn boundaries. You've focused energy in a positive direction. Maybe it's just a manifestation. Maybe you're starting to really get a feeling for how this whole thing works, how positivity creates positive things, and how simple it really is. And I think with the Empress, you're starting to physically see the success. You're starting to see the results of the manifestations. And maybe Virgo didn't have a hard time like most of the other signs. It didn't struggle with letting things go that weren't working. It didn't get hung up on all that emotional stuff. Because I think the discipline needed in the manifesting and understanding, look, there's laws of the universe. Laws are important. If we didn't have laws, we'd kind of be wandering around looking for a whole lot of information, wasting a whole lot of time. So yeah, there's laws. The laws of the universe is what you put out, you will receive. And I think there's a lot of good, beautiful energy in Virgo that the world can really benefit from. So it's putting you on that path for success and love and really anything else that your heart desires. Underneath the Explorer of Pentacles, you deserve love. Yeah, Virgo, I just get this vibe with this rhinoceros kind of walking out into this open field of leaving a lot of shit behind And that shit was probably stories you told yourself about how maybe you don't deserve better or you can't ask for more. Maybe there was a deep-seated belief from childhood that you've recently worked through that told you that you weren't capable, or, you know, people from your area, or people, you know, like just generalizations like, oh, people like that don't make it. You know, that's bullshit. That's you putting yourself in a little square and saying, okay, this is all I'm allowed to have. Now that goes against the laws of the universe. And I don't think they like that. And as soon as you start to open up, as soon as you start to realize that you could really have whatever it is that you want, I think deep down it's love. It's that healthy relationship. It's that love within yourself that makes you courageous enough to start that business, to do that thing you've always wanted to do, to go on that vacation, even if you're going alone. I think Virgo's not waiting for anybody. And you simply hold space. You know, you love yourself. You date yourself. You live that wonderful life. And in the midst of it, that other thing comes and connects to that energy. Seriously. Because the next card you get is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. I mean, Virgo, I pulled these cards and I was absolutely astounded and overwhelmed. Calling in your soulmate. If that's what you have been manifesting, if that's what you've been putting out into the universe, if those are the lessons you've been going through, Virgo, honestly though, if you have communication issues of any kind, self-worth, if you're having a difficult time expressing yourself in any way, as I feel like it might be happening to you, you know, in this really positive reading, which seems to be everything's going right, and yet like I'm kind of choking here, which tells me that either you're getting choked up when you hear this, or you know, maybe you're still kind of going through that last final push of purging. And maybe you're just starting to hear your voice for the first time, starting to hear your heart tell you the things that you've always wanted to hear, right? That you do deserve love, that this really will work, that this is your time. Maybe some of you just need to say it out loud, just to yourself, or write it down on a piece of paper. Oh my God, as soon as I said that, my throat felt better. So honestly, if you're struggling in any way, journal. It really does help to put the words in actual physical existence. Even if it's just saying them out loud, it means that they exist. And so the universe will always acknowledge it. Now, this is a very long reading. In your challenge position, you do have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so first of all, there's no way to fear the 10 of Pentacles. There's really the only way to interpret this energy is that fear of success. And I think that happens to everybody. I think when you start to feel that vibration, when you start to feel it come in your way, I think it's pretty natural to be like, oh my God, am I ready? Am I ready? Am I, you know, like, am I ready for this? And it might feel scary, but it's going to be a positive scary. And you're in the mindset, Explorer of Pentacles, to really form some new boundaries. 10 of Pentacles in the challenge position can be where maybe you're afraid to invest, or maybe you don't have enough finances or backing to invest in something, or maybe you feel there's still some tinges of unworthiness, right? Like, oh, well, this part of my life is kind of a mess and I don't want anybody to know and I don't want to share with that. Because 10 of Pentacles is like that investment sharing vulnerability. It's not necessarily about being emotional. It's kind of more about being exposed. So I feel like if there's any fears surrounding expressing yourself, surrounding what you deserve, or just the fear of getting the things you've been wishing for, you can manifest for 1,000,000 years on this one thing, and yet you don't realize there's a block in you because you're afraid of it actually succeeding. So you got to start getting more and more into that energy of it's already yours. Because if it's already yours, there's no anticipatory anxiety, right? If it already belongs to you, if you're already with that person, if everything is already the end of a beautiful story, then what do you have to worry about? Your last card, your likely outcome, is the Three of Cups. Virgo, you are moving into a time in your life of real pleasure, joy, celebration, freedom. You might be coming to an area in your life where you start to meet a whole lot of new friends, new people are coming into your life. That's what I feel with this energy. And it's not just one person. Now, it does look as though you're going to have luck in the love department if that's something that you're focused on. See, and the fact that I don't even feel the need to really specify this in the form of a relationship tells me that Virgo is truly connected to the vibration. Not worried about the outcome, just simply wanting a happy, fulfilling life. And I think Virgo knows that the universe kind of knows best now. Virgo said, all right, take the wheel. You make better decisions than me. I'm just going to feel my way through this. Three of Cups is a very flowing energy, and it's easy. There's no doubt or worry or stress in a Three of Cups. There's a constant flow of emotions, meaning that there's a constant stream of your manifestations. You've mastered how to keep it very smooth, how to not be specific. And I think with that, it opens up this giant portal for success in your life. Underneath that Three of Cups, you get the Yang card, which means it's going to be time to start the things. This is success in the masculine form. Now, there's a little bit of duality here. I actually think I'm going to read this to you from the book because I think it could be seen in a couple different ways. It is a promise of success. It is a card number 1, meaning you're starting something brand new. Now, this could be an indication that if you're struggling between an old relationship or even just the way you used to do relationships, I think it's a sign that you should probably go in another direction. Try new things. Explorer of Pentacles means stepping up your game, exploring more quality. It has, it's kind of like going to college and then picking your major. And I feel like Virgo's kind of picking their major right now, like really making a commitment. It doesn't have to be to a specific person, but it does have to be to a certain direction, a certain thing that you want to experience. And it could be a broad array, just like we talked about. Universe, I just want to feel happy. I just want more spare time. I just want to spend more time with my children. Whatever it is, it's automatically yours. The masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen and taking action. So it's important to understand that because with that High Priestess and the Empress energy, like I said, it's not about doing a lot of work. It's not about working hard. If you're doing something that makes you feel like, oh my God, this is the longest day of my life, I'm never going to be able to get through this. If you feel, on your way to work, like that tummy rumbling, like, oh, I just don't want to do this today. That's probably a good indication that that's not the thing that you should be focusing on. Now, I'm not telling you to go and like quit your day job and hope for the best. There's common sense here. Explorer of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Like your foundation is fine. You don't have to quit anything. But you do have to start the things that you're really resonating with. If there's opportunities coming your way, because the Empress tells me that things are just kind of coming your way, you do have to say yes. And you do have to know that it's going to be successful. And I think you have to stay vigilant this month that when the opportunities come, you're courageous enough to explore them, to ask the questions, to Google the information, to maybe just start to make a practical plan. Or go on that date. Open that. And I really didn't say that for any of the other signs this month. Like really, this month, it's probably not a good time to start a new relationship. Not a good time to put up your dating profile. You'll probably likely get really overwhelmed by it. And a lot of signs could meet some people that are a little shady right now. Mars and Pluto, you want to be careful. But Virgo, I don't see that for you. This is an entirely different energy. Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act. For you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. Also, there's a little blip of a protection message here. So I'm just going to read that to you really quickly. Be mindful of the tendency toward impulsive action, overconfidence, and aggressive behavior. This is what I mean. You shouldn't have to push. If it's meant for you, you won't have to push. You'll know it's right and it will come easy. All right, Virgo. Wow, that was a great reading. Absolutely amazing. It looks like you're going to have a wonderful time. So congratulations. I'm so incredibly happy for you. And, you deserve it. You've clearly done a lot of the hard work and you really do deserve it. I hope this is a wonderful experience for you, and I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you in the November readings.